Hello, I am going to share a story with you about St. Francis of Assisi. His feast day was last Sunday, October 3rd? That sounds right. October 4th. His feast day was October 4th. St. Francis was a saint. A saint is just someone who does a lot of extra things for God, really loves God, shares God with others. And it's something we can all strive to be. We can all strive to be saints. And a feast day is a day that we honor a certain saint. And so we honored St. Francis on October 4th. And St. Francis was known for a lot. I have a video linked. You can watch that to learn a little bit about him. But I want to share a little story about who he was too. I will show pictures after I read the pages. Do you know the story about Brother Francis and the birds? Well, here it is. One day, Brother Francis was walking in the woods. Many people were following him. These people wanted to hear about God's love for them. So Brother Francis stopped to talk. But the people could not hear Francis because the birds were singing so loudly. It must have been about bedtime for the birds. You know how much noise birds make in the evening before they go to sleep. Brother Francis looked up at the trees. "Hush, little sister birds. Hush, little brother birds," Francis said, "and I will tell a story about God. You may listen too, for God made birds and loves them too." Suddenly the woods fell silent, and Francis told everyone about how God takes care of all his creatures, you and me and everything he made. So that was just a quick short story. Like I said, there's a video linked in the plans as well that you can watch to learn a little bit more about St. Francis of Assisi. I read that story because St. Francis of Assisi is known as the patron saint of animals and wildlife and birds and things like that. He really he had a big conversion, so he really changed how he was acting and thinking. That's what a conversion means. And he found nature to be a really calming place for him. And it's said, like in that story, that he was able to talk to the birds in a certain way that other people couldn't. And so that's why I thought I'd share that story with you. We're going to be making a picture of St. Francis of Assisi. I'll grab my example that I have done so you can see what it'll look like when we're all done. And then here he is, St. Francis of Assisi. So I'm going to walk you through the steps. You should have gotten all these materials a couple of weeks ago. I got some stuff together from your moms and dads to pick up. So you should already have these things. You should have a big yellow piece of construction paper, the little prayer, and I'll share that with you in just a minute. This is his hairpiece. It's already cut out, so you won't have to cut it out. You should have a head and hands and his clothes. You will also need a black and red crayon. So if you need to pause the video and go get some of these supplies, go ahead and pause the video and then you can start back up, and I'm going to walk through how to make St. Francis of Assisi. So first thing you're going to do is cut out his body. It's this brown piece. It's kind of his clothes. Like I had said, St. Francis kind of had a conversion, and you'll hear that in the video. So after you're done making St. Francis, go watch the video. You'll learn a little bit more about him. But after he had this time where he really thought, I'm not doing the things I should be. I need to spend more time with God and pray more and try and serve others more. He changed the clothes he wore. And so he just wore simple brown clothes. And so that's what this acts as. His clothes, his brown robe he wore. So cut it out and put some glue on one side. And then you can put it on your yellow construction paper. Then you'll cut out his head and his hands. So go ahead and do that now. And just cut out on that black solid line. You can put glue on one side of his head and stick that to his shirt like that. And then with his hands, if you make sure that the point is going up toward his head, it'll look like his hands are folded and they're praying. So I'll put them kind of in the middle of his shirt like that. And you can glue on his hair. And the longer part of his hair will go toward the bottom. And then you can glue on the prayer, and the prayer says, "O gentle Saint Francis, you are always kind to all of God's creatures. Watch over and protect all animals, birds, fish, and every other creature in the world. Help me and all people to always respect these wonderful gifts from God. Amen." So you can glue that. If you have room, you can glue it down at the bottom of St. Francis's clothes, or you could glue it somewhere else on the construction paper, wherever you have room. Then you're going to use those crayons. You're going to give St. Francis some eyes and a nose, and then you can use the red and give him a mouth. And then with the black crayon, or even the red, or a different color crayon, you choose, we're going to write St. Francis of Assisi at the top. And when moms and dads can always help you, or an adult can help you, they can write it out for you so you can see it. ST is an abbreviation for saint. So ST dot, and then Francis of Assisi. Then I just wrote that at the top, like that. So, I hope you had fun making St. Francis of Assisi with me. And, like I said, there's a video you can watch to learn a little bit more about St. Francis. And say your prayer tonight, maybe, for that we glued on St. Francis of Assisi. And I will see you all later.